Hello and welcome to another video on the Gegenpress. And in front of us today we have something very special, a hot topic, a very well sought after boot, and easily a conversation starter when it comes to football boots. In front of you we have the Adler Yatagarashu. But before we go any further, let's track back a bit and talk about what is Adler and a brief history. It's not about brief history, but there's some trivia about the brand. So Adler is a Japanese brand. They are independent football boot makers, and they are based out of the town of Nara. Nara is roughly around an hour's drive away from Osaka, and Nara is most famous for its tourist attractions, which are the bowing deer. If you've seen it on documentaries and probably read it elsewhere, so the deer is the most famous fauna in that area, and they are the main tourist attractions. People can come and feed the deer, the wild deers actually, and it's also one of the main tourist attractions if you're visiting Osaka, right? And Nara is also the name of the smartest character in Naruto, which is Nara Shikamaru. It's basically that's where his name was derived from. And if you see the history of Nara Shikamaru and his family, they are, they have deers around their compound and stuff like that. But anyways, today we're talking about football boots while we're talking about Naruto and anime. Anyways, so Adler, at the moment, let's not talk about the custom ones. Let's talk about the boots that they officially release on sale. They have 4 main models in their lineup, starting with the cheapest one. You can call it the cheapest one relatively, which is the Yamato Tokyos. The cheapest one is Yamato Tokyos. In Malaysian ringgit, it sells for 557 Malaysian ringgit. The next cheapest one would be the Jarumakan, which is 587. That's roughly 30 ringgit more expensive. And then slightly higher, which is like 100 ringgit higher, is the Horenzos, which sells for 680 Malaysian ringgits. And then the creme de la creme, the top end of the Adler lineup would be the Adler Yatagarashu, the same one that we have here today. But a lot of people will be questioning, okay, so what's the difference between these shoes? So what separates from Yamato Tokyo to the Jarumakan to the Horenzo and to the Yatagarashus. So I'll try my best to summarize them so it makes much more sense when you look at the pricing. So let's start with the cheapest one, right? Yamato Tokyo is the cheapest shoe that you can get from Horenzo. On their website, Horenzo calls them the lightweight and durable, and it uses artificial leather. So it uses, so there's no kangaroo leather here, obviously. The upper material, they claim on the back of the Jarumakan, of the Yamato Tokyo, sorry, they claim to have premium ox, OX. I'm not sure whether big X means calf leather, but that's what they call it. The back, I think all 4 models shares the same padding at the back of the boot. They call it, probably this is where the back pad is, behind here. They have a midsole carvo. Carvo is the internal bit in the shoes, which has the one that looks like carbon fiber, if you can see. So almost all of the shoes in the Adler lines, they have this bit, which looks like a carbon fiber weave. It's 0.9 millimeters thick. It has a urethane outsole with Mackay stitching. All Adler shoes have this additional stitching, so your shoes or your soles will stay in place for a much longer time. And they have a cup insole. They come with Itogo shoelaces. The shoes originally come in 3 colors, white, black and red. And as I mentioned earlier, it would cost you roughly around 557 ringgit. So that's the cheapest one, the Yamato Tokyos. Slightly higher would be the Jarumakan. So the Jarumakan is slightly, it's like 30 ringgit more expensive compared to the earlier one. And the reason the Jarumakan is slightly expensive because it has kangaroo upper. Half of it is kangaroo upper. but it is still a mixture of kangaroo and artificial leather. It still have the same material of premium ox at the back of the shoe, same inner pad, but the midsole of the Jarumakan has cowhide and fiber shank. So this is very important because this will be the main difference between the different levels of the shoes that's being sold. It has the same urethane outsole, same plastic studs across all shoes, same cup insole, same shoelaces, and also in 3 colors. And as I mentioned earlier, it's 30 ringgit more expensive than the Yamato Tokyo. And then now we go to the premium brand, which is the Horenzo's. The Horenzo is, as described on Adler's website, it is full kangaroo upper. So this is a bit important because you will see that this is where it differs between the Horenzo's and the Yatagarashus. A lot of boot reviewers calls the Horenzo, it feels more like a speed boot because it's on the light side. So the upper material of the Horenzo is full kangaroo, and then the back of it is cambrel. So like I mentioned just now, premium ox was on the Yamato Tokyo and Jarumakan, premium OX. But on the Horenzo, it's a specific material called cambrel. It shares the same back of pad. It has the carvo midsole, same outsole, same insole, same cup insole, and the shoelaces. All of the Adler shoes, if I didn't mention earlier, all of them come in basic 3 colors, which is black, white, and red. Only the black ones have different colored studs. So if the red ones, you get red studs. If the white one, you get white studs. The black one, you get white studs. So that's the main difference. And then we go to, so the Horenzo's is selling for 680 ringgit. So to upgrade from Jarumakan, which is half kangaroo, half synthetic, to go to a full kangaroo upper with the Horenzo costs you around 93 ringgit, like $100. Let's round it up. So around $100 upgrade, you get yourself a Horenzo. Alright, so Horenzo is the full K leather. Next, then we go to the Yatagarashus, the shoes that we have in hand right now. So full upper, full kangaroo leather upper. Alright, but the fun part is the upper material at the back, it shares with the 2 cheapest brands. This is made of premium ox, OX, or whatever. If it's ox, or maybe it's premium calf, but I'm not sure. Let's see, what does this OX mean. It says, okay, they didn't specify what OX means. It's just a material with low elongation that has the softness peculiar to nylon with the durability in thinness. So if you want the cambrel back cup, you get the Horenzo. If not, you go for if you go for Yatagarashu, you get the premium ox. So it's the same back upper material as you get in the Jarumakan and Yamato Tokyo. The back of pad, the inside one, all 4 shoes share the same material. They have a carvo. So this is okay. So I'm able to show you right now. So the inside is a carvo, 0.99 millimeters, and then it comes with a fiber shank. So only the Yatagarashu comes with a fiber shank. The one on the Horenzo, if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't. Yeah, the one on Horenzo does not come with a fiber shank. So I believe the fiber shank is the one that makes this shoe much snappier. So I believe this is the snappiest part, the hardest part of the shoe. So it's probably inside here. So that's one of the main difference with Horenzo's is obviously the the back here is premium ox, and then the fiber shank. It's the same plastic sole, same cup insole, and then it comes with Itogo laces and comes with 3 colors. So now your question is, which one should you get? All right, so based on my experience, okay, before telling which one should you get, let's talk about sizing, because to me, buying Adler shoes is the most important thing, is the sizes, because I initially bought a pair of Horenzo's and I got it the wrong size. So a brief history about that was I wear a normal size 7, and a lot of reviewers were saying, oh yeah, you go around full size lower or half a size at least. So I have to order these shoes online, and obviously the skeptic in me would be, it would be too much to buy a pair of shoes a full size smaller than what I normally wear, right? So I decided, let's go half a size lower, and that was a mistake. I should have gone a full size lower. So because when I got the Horenzos in 6.5 instead of a 7 UK, I got a 6.5 UK. It was still slightly too long for my feet. I'm not sure why, but in many Japanese brands, including Mizuno's is also a culprit here, the shoes run slightly longer. You know, our biggest worry would be, I need to find a perfect fit, right? And what I learned getting these Adler shoes is that because I'm getting K leather shoes, this is assuming you're getting K leather shoes as well, it will stretch on the sides. It will stretch on the sides, but your feet will not get longer. So if you think along those lines, then you will understand my logic of going a full size smaller. So this pair of Yatagarashus is a full size smaller than I normally get. So it might say 6 UK on the box of the Adler box, on the Adler box. But when I put it next side by side with my Mizuno's, with my Adidas shoes, the length is exactly the same. So if you are looking to buy Adler shoes, get it a full size smaller. So my recommendation would be, in your head, go a full size smaller. And then when you go to the website, look for the corresponding number. So if you are a size 9, and then this is UK, UK sizing. So if you're a size 9, so you should be wearing a size 8 UK for Adlers. So when you buy your shoes at the Adler website, go straight for UK 8. That is what I would recommend. And if you are worried, whether the width will suit you, assuming you're going for the K leather models, it will fit perfectly. This shoe in 6 UK for Adlers fits perfectly with my 7 UK feet. My feet comes a bit on the wide side, but I have no problem. And then the best part of it, this shoe breaks in almost instantly. When I first wore it, it felt like I've been wearing it for forever. It fits like a glove, and the more you wear it, the better it fits. And my only complaint, I wouldn't call it a complaint, it's probably a gripe, is that I wish that these laces be slightly longer than they are, because they do come a bit on the short side. But in terms of experience wearing this, it's very, very hard to explain. I do have, I'm pretty sure you're aware, I have the Mizuno Wave Cup SS, and I've also shared with you about my experience with the Mizuno DNA, Morelia DNAs. The Mizuno shoes feel plusher. They are more plush, they're more comfortable. But when it comes to barefoot feeling, nothing beats the Adlers. So for me, Yatagarashus would be the comfiest one out there. If you are looking for a shoe that just wraps around your feet, you feel like you're just running on barefoot with obviously additional traction because of the studs, I would highly recommend the Yatagarashus or the Horenzos. The Horenzos feel, it's hard to describe, but the ones on Yatagarashu, which is slightly expensive, I didn't mention just now, Yatagarashu is going for 711. So that is roughly maybe 30 ringgit more expensive than the Horenzos. And they feel different. You barely feel any gap between your feet and the ball. You can actually see my fingers just poking out of it. That is how thin it is. So the Mizuno's, you still can see the thinness, but it's still plush. But on this one, even where the padded parts, it's still very thin. And it's so soft. So if you are thinking of getting a pair of shoes that would fit like a glove and something that will stand out, highly recommended this. And lastly, if you order, I'm not sure whether they'll still be giving it, but ordering any of the Adler shoes comes with these. This is an insole in collaboration between Adler and Real Line. It comes with a slightly raised cushiony part inside, so your feet, it kind of molds to your feet, and it doesn't feel like there's too much gaps, because there's always an additional gap on your infoot, right, between that and the base of the shoe. This one fills it, and I don't know, I don't think I can wear any football boots without this anymore. I've been taking it out and slipping into other shoes because it's that comfortable. But if you're not prefer, if you don't prefer this, you can just go with the original one, which is the normal flat ones. The shoe, okay, so another one, if people are saying, should I get this or should I get the Mizunos? The only factor that I would recommend get the Mizunos instead of the Adlers is if you are very particular about the studs. Because the studs on the Adlers are super old school. It's very close to the Wave Cup, but Wave Cup, because of that wave technology and the studs, puts it ahead of the Yatagarashus. But if I close my eyes and say, you know what, I don't care about studs and I just want to think about the fit, it's a toss-up between those two. So this is easily my go-to shoe, and I highly recommend it. Recently, let's address another question that you might be asking. They released the custom ones where the boot, you can custom the color of your upper with the, you can mix and match your laces with the upper with the studs. And I checked it, and it's stupidly expensive. Then again, those shoes are made to order, and if you have the extra buck to spend, by all means, it's your money. But for me, getting any of these three basic colors, which is the white, black, or red, it's good enough. And until you are super confident about the sizing, you might want to try with the slightly cheaper version or the cheaper option that's available out there. And as recording this, the Yatagarashus are sold out. So that's how high in demand these shoes are. So it's not just hype, they actually deliver. So if I'm going to give a score on what the Adler Yatagarashus are, it's easily, because nothing is perfect in life, so I put it 9.8 out of 10. If you are wondering which one would go higher, I still put the Wave Cup because of the studs. So if you have any comments, you have any questions, fill them in the comment section below. More than happy to address them. If any of the info that I shared above are wrong, or kind of you're not sure what I'm talking about, ask me in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer them. If you haven't subscribed, appreciate the subscription, appreciate the like, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you.